sweet dear magical friends. Willkommen to your weekly horoscope and tarot with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. Welcome, Willkommen. It is so great to be back. I am feeling so much better. Thank God for antibiotics. So we're going to jump in after I give you guys a little bit of an update of what is changing here on the channel, as well as the 𝚃𝚗𝚞𝚜 community over on the Patreon. I am so happy to show you guys this. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so this is going to be the December calendar for the channel and for the TikTok and for the 𝚃𝚗𝚞𝚜 community over on the Patreon. So as you can see, we have PK parties Friday nights. They were PK, TK Thursday nights, and now they are moving to Friday. Party Friday. So if you guys are ready for, you know, a different kind of Friday night partying, you can, you know, get some psychic ability going and some, you know, moving things around with your mind on Friday nights with us. We also, that's a sub club. I'll explain that in a moment. As you can see, on every other Monday evening, we do have our 𝚃𝚗𝚜𝚡 table reads. So this is another sub club of the 𝚃𝚗𝚜𝚡 table reads. I'm so excited to do this. This has to do a lot with the creative channeling that a lot of you guys have been asking me for so long. So I'm so happy to be able to offer this. This is also one of the sub clubs in the Patreon tiers. And then over on Sundays, you see that I am working on Sundays. Saturdays, my one day off, but on Sundays, we do have Crypto Sesh, another sub club. We have Tarot Talk, another sub club. And then we have Ceremony. So Ceremony is going to replace what I'm doing in Practical Magic. And basically, when you get to the level of being part of the Ceremony sub club, you're ready to make magic and manifestation and energy work a consistent part of your life. It is a lifestyle, and so you're living that lifestyle. I bring you guys live with me into the rituals that I personally do, and it's not so much instructional. You'll get the PDF before ceremony, but the actual ceremony is the ceremony. It is the rituals. So I kind of see it as my own, forgive me for saying it, church, you know, or, you know, Kanye Sunday service. It's a kind of like my own thing like that. So, you know, you do need to make all of these energetic practices consistent parts of your life to continue and to build that consistency. And it's not just for your spiritual health and your healing and your growth and your manifestation. This is also for charging your life. When you do something over and over again, when you make a corner of your one-bedroom apartment your office, and you just do the work there, you are charging that space so that once you sit in that corner, after a couple of weeks or after some time, you don't get distracted. You don't get into the videos, and you don't start thinking about whatever. You don't get into your phone. You're really ready to sit down and get to work. And so that is part of what ceremony is also supposed to be for you guys, is that consistency to charge up your life. Okay, now we also have, I have this whole different little, here we go. Okay, so as you can see here, there are these little, not quotes, not affirmations, they're just sort of statements that I came up with to help you guys figure out what tier you really belong in and what really works best for you, what I can offer you that is going to be the right thing that you need at the right time. So getting back over here, this tier, the pages tier, you have the offerings. It's the same. So the pages tier is exactly the same. It reads, oh mother of pearl, this is further. So I'm just gonna, I need daily guidance and extra support for my sun, moon, and rising signs. I'm intuitive and I'm ready to strengthen connection to my higher self. That's pages tier. The nights tier is changing a little bit. We have the monthly astrological forecasting, and that statement for the nights tier, I'm going to read these statements, and whatever applies most to you, that's really the tier that is the best for you. So for the nights, I need astrological and energetic forecasting further ahead of time to help strategize and support my manifestations. Now, in the Kings and Queens tier, this is where the biggest changes are made. This is where you have the monthly crypto sesh sub club, and that is really the sub club for the crypto sesh is really more of a financial literacy sub club. Okay, so that's changing. And then you also have a different monthly, okay, so you still have your tarot talk classes. Okay, so it's just that I moved the crypto sesh from the nights into the Kings and Queens. And this is a big difference. So there's 5 tiers. You have 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and this Kings and Queens tier is right smack in the middle. And the way that I was seeing this is sort of like that seesaw, or that, you know, that triangle that has the weight on either side. So this Kings and Queens tier, I'm ready to hold more I'm ready to hold more esoteric knowledge because my intuition is super activated. I also need support increasing my financial literacy and help with my financial manifestations. So the idea that is behind the Kings and Queens tier is to help you with your financial manifestations so that you can more easily support those higher tiers. So that's why I'm putting it right smack in the middle. You're connecting, you're building the connection with your higher self in the early tiers, and you're getting the feet wet with, you know, trying to strategize ahead of time and trying to plan your life with the monthly forecasting. And those of you that have already seen some of my monthlies, you guys know that I do it a little bit differently than all of the other monthly forecasting that you see on YouTube, and it's definitely different and unique, and it's supportive of that strategizing. So that Kings and Queens tier, by the time you get there, you may have come up into financial blockages or other kind of subconscious resistance. So that Kings and Queens tier is meant to open you up to more information, like it says, more esoteric knowledge with the tarot talk class. Not only do you get that monthly live stream tarot talk class, but you get access. We have over 25 classes now. I'm so proud of my tarot talk classes. That's really just like where I shine and what I offer you guys. So it's just like the tarot is such a gateway to deeper psychic ability, and it's just one of the I offer a lot of unique things, but it's like one of the very unique things that I have to offer you guys. So love my tarot talk classes. Okay, so you're working through that tier, and you're getting the financial energies more aligned, and you're learning more, increasing your financial literacy, or just honing in and maybe even remembering some things that you had learned 20 years ago. Now you're in the Emperor and Empress's tier. Some things changing about this tier is that you get a longer personalized destiny read. This is another thing that I'm doing. I'm finding that the destiny read at the lower tier, it's just a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much, and you need way more practice with energy work and working with karma and alchemizing energy, to be honest. So I'm putting it in a longer read, so it's like 25 to 30 minutes, and it used to be 15, so like 10 to 15, so I'm doubling it, and increasing the amount of time that I'm giving for your transit tracker. So guys, I love my transit trackers. I love doing my transit trackers for you guys. That is a personalized forecast. I am looking at your natal chart. So, for instance, we're talking about Mars trining Saturn this week. It's really positive, really great, but maybe that is doing something totally different to your chart, and you need to know about it. You get that in your transit tracker. Or if it's not really affecting you at all, and there's something else happening, there's a fire happening in some other area of your chart, I'm going to tell you that about this week, this first week, as we go into the end of November, beginning of December. So I love that. I love my transit tracker. So you get a longer extended transit tracker, and in the Empress and Emperor's tier, you get access to the Arteagan Table Read sub club. So this is, you can be, it's for writers. It's for writers, but you can be a screenwriter. You can be a poet. You can be a novelist. You could be writing a collection of personal essays. Maybe you are putting together your memoirs, and but you've got to be a writer. This is for writers specifically, and it's we're going to get together and we're going to read one thing, maybe from every single, it depends on what it turns out to be, attendance wise and time wise. We're going to start with an hour, but we're going to go up to 2 hours depending on the size of the group that we have in any given month of fluctuation. So if you are looking for feedback and growth and camaraderie, and even if you want to work on your creative channeling, this is going to help you so much. Okay, I'm really excited about this. I'm part of other table read groups, and I have this wonderful, beautiful community. Why not? So very excited to start my own table read. And the statement for the Emperor and Empress tier is, I need specialized tools to support my creative psychic channeling and manifesting. I am also ready to meet the challenges of my karma and live my destiny. One thing that I found is putting the destiny reads really early in those lower tiers. Like I said, it's just sort of overwhelming. It's too much. And there's a lot of subconscious resistance. There's a lot of where it's sort of, when we're not ready to hear something, it's like a little bit shocking, and it just goes really, not, I don't want to say over our heads, but it's just too much to take in. It's too much, and so it's like, it's not healthy to have, to tell someone something that they're not, it's a little bit much, so that's why, like I'm saying, I'm putting it in that higher tier, so that you're more, it's really more psychological, so you guys are more like psychologically prepared to meet those challenges of your karma, because it's karma. This is something that you've done like at least one lifetime in the past, and you've got to conquer that karma before you can reach for that destiny. So yeah, that's the Emperor and Empress's tier. Now the very highest tier that we have, the High Priestess and the Hierophant tier. Okay, so I am removing the option. You don't get one option of one long session or the weeklies. I want to see you every single week if you're in this tier. So we're going to extend that 20-minute weekly Zoom sessions with me. That's what it is. And you get access to the PK sub club, PK party on the Friday nights, psychokinesis. So if you want to, now here's what I love about my PK parties and the psychokinesis stuff, is that you are ready to reprogram your subconscious mind. Maybe you already are reprogramming your subconscious mind. And this is one of the ways that you're doing it. This is one of the things that you're showing yourself. I can do this. If I can do this, I can do anything. So there's a lot of subconscious. That's really like a lot of work that we're doing in that highest tier. So anything that you're trying to do, you're only using 5% of your conscious mind to do it. But if you have a subconscious resistance, you have 95% of your energy working against itself. So that's what you're actually manifesting. That's what you're actually bringing in, is whatever the limits are dictated by your subconscious. It's sort of like the gatekeeper to your comfort zone, that subconscious. So you get access to the PK parties on Fridays, and you get, let me see, is this? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so the Arteagan Ceremony Sub Club as well. Like I said, that ceremony sub club is designed to ground your abilities and ground your practices and make this, these are all meant to be consistent every single week, a part of your life, and layering it more and more into your life. That's why you see me working on Sundays, because these are very important to have regular practice with. So and you do see that these weekly psychic tarot readings are spread out a little bit more to create even more consistency. So the statement here for the highest tier, I'm ready to expand and ground my abilities, work my energy magic consistently, and fully commit to an empowered and magical lifestyle. Very excited, very exciting. So you can download this little 2-page PDF that I have here on the Patreon website, patreon.com/TheFirstArteagan. And it's a public post that you can download for free and just keep it handy to know what we're up to, and that it's always there for you if you want to do something a little bit special for yourself this holiday season, if you want to start 2023 on the right foot. There it is. Okay, so let's dive into this week of, what are we in? This is the first week of December. So, okay, we've got our little 𝙼𝚊𝚗𝚗 over here. And just for a moment, I want to show you the astro key so you can screenshot if you need to. Over here, we have the planets. These are the sources of energies. This is why we have difficulty getting up early one morning and then we're wide awake sprightly the very next morning. You know, when we're being affected by some of these guys, the sources of energies, just like you're the source of energy as well. In the middle column, we have the aspects. So over here, when you see all these little lines with these little shapes, those are the aspects. So these are the relationships between these sources of energies. And I am going to tell you, don't judge them, good or bad. I'm always going to say that. It's how you work the energy. Very sophisticated energy work can use squares very well. I use them, and it's still like, whoa, you know. So, you know, I don't recommend using squares or trying to use squares right out the get-go, you know. Okay, anyway. So, and then you have the signs over here. This is like the flavor. This is the tone. This is the style of how these energies are playing themselves out. Mars in Gemini is different from Mars in Libra, is different from Mars in Aries, is different from Mars in Scorpio, right? So, all right, let's bring us back to our, oops, oh no, that's for the month, or my monthly is, oops, there we go. Okay, so let us commence. Oh, mother, I put this further back so that you don't hear that annoying laptop, and it's just, I can't quite see it as well. Okay, so let us begin on Monday. All right, Monday, November, let me just get this over here, mother of pearl. All right, Monday, we're starting the week off. We know it's Mars trine Saturn. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. We have this, we're going to have 3. So it's part of the Mars retrograde, and this is going to be something that, you know, the third one that we do have is going to be very different of a vibe. It's going to be next spring. Both Mars and Saturn will be in water signs. Mars will be in Cancer. Saturn will be in Pisces, if you guys can freaking believe it. So, you know, it's going to be a different vibe, but let's deal with what we've got in front of us. So on Monday, we have Mars trining over to Saturn. The moon is in Aquarius. So the moon is in Aquarius, trining Mars in Gemini and conjunct Saturn. So guys, there's like a million screens right now and cameras and everything. So I'm still sort of acclimating to my new little setup here. So thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So on Monday, we start the week very serious, very strong. And I'll tell you this, you know, Mars is retrograde and stirring up so much of wasted effort in the Gemini area of life. There's something that you're trying to do and it's not working, it's not going, and it's frustrating, and you have to troubleshoot your energy. So trying to marshal your energy for anything in that Gemini area of life is just difficult right now. So this trine to Saturn is saying that when you put in the hard work and you put in the discipline and you put in the patience and specifically the time, because Saturn is the time ruler, and you know that's why us Saturn born children, we just get better as we get older, because it's like the reverse time thing. So you know, you may feel, if you're having a moment of weakness, so if you haven't eaten, if you haven't showered, if you haven't slept, you might feel this a little bit more frustrating because you're needing to slow down, you're needing to do something the right way, you're needing to go back and do something, you're needing to put more energy and effort into something in a mature way, and you might resent it a little bit on Monday. But if you're taking good care of yourself, thank God for antibiotics. If you are, if you're in a good space, mentally and physically and, emotionally, then you will be able to marshal your energies and make a lot of headway, a lot of progress, get a lot of things done. And, even if it's not a lot of things done with that Mars retrograde, there might be a time crunch with that Saturn trine. So you might have to prioritize. Gemini likes all the options. With the Mars retrograde in Gemini, it's about taking options off the table and really prioritizing, what's really meaningful, what's really important, what's really going to work. So, get to work on Monday. This can be great for rehabilitating a reputation, rehabilitating anything that had a work that had fallen off the plate, or any relationships that got a little bit wonky. This could be a little bit more stabilizing. Okay, all right, let's talk about the moon. The moon in Aquarius will trine Mars, and what else did I write here? And conjunct Saturn. Oh, I have it in two different places. I have it visually with the chart, and then I have it written in the 𝙼𝚘𝚟𝚎. I just want to make sure that I'm talking about what I'm writing in the 𝙼𝚘𝚟. So the moon in Saturn sign is also helpful for getting things done. It's not like we're feeling like, oh, I want to go play. Emotionally, we're really in tune with, no, I want to get this done. When this is structured, when this is taken care of, I'll feel better. So, this can also be very fruitful for relationships and contacts that are helpful to you, that, it's not like frivolous socializing. This is, okay, these are allies that I'm helping them, they're helping me, I'm ingratiating myself, I am proving myself useful, I am keeping my word. With this Mars retrograde in Gemini, Monday is a wonderful day to, like I said, if something has fallen off the plate in a relationship, if you said you were going to do something, you didn't do it, if you made a promise and didn't keep it, if you flaked out on something, if you let somebody down, if you didn't keep your word, most of all, because it's Mars in Gemini, if you did not keep your word, if you said you were going to do something, if you said you were going to say something, if you said you were going to follow up on something, if you said that you were going to let them know about something, you can rehabilitate that image, that relationship, that trust on Monday. And that moon crossing Saturn is going to make you feel like, I just need to take care of this so I can feel better about it and just move on. And there's going to be a lot of that happening. So, if you don't do it, if this is if someone's a little bit more immature, they're just going to really resent it, because Saturn also rules fear. So, if this is a little bit more depressing for some people, they have a fear of not enough time, or they really resent that their time is not their own, that they do have to stop what they're doing and go take care of a relationship, or stop what they're doing in this area of life and go, take care of a commitment or a promise that they made, to uphold. Or if they're not able to play right now, they have to go and take care of business. I can see some people really like not into it. But that trine over to Mars is also really, it's like you may feel emotionally drained because Mars is retrograde. So it's not like you have the get up and go of a Mars moon trine where you're just like, yes, you might want that. And if you are feeling that, it is going to get pulled back a little, or there will be obstacles that you'll have to work through and troubleshoot to get to that other side. But, you'll feel better once it's taken care of. So Monday really is the get it done day. It's the day to do all of the important communications and set things right. Okay, so things have likely gone a little bit wonky somewhere in either of these areas, the Aquarius or the Gemini area of life. So go ahead and make that adjustment as we move into, I'm going to do this, Tuesday. As we get into Tuesday, The vibe is shifting a little bit. We have Mercury in Sagittarius. Let's see, we have Venus conjunct Mercury in Sagittarius, and both of them are opposing Mars and Gemini. So I guess I'm just focusing on that. There's a couple other things happening, but let's just take care of the most important things. I get more into the detail of every single aspect in �14 daily bulletin, and that is the lowest tier over on the Patreon. That's that additional guidance and support, daily tarot, daily astrology aspects. So I take care of the granular over there. So in this weekly, though, you guys get the overview, the broad strokes. So, okay, we've got that Mercury and Venus, really cute, opposing Mars at 19 degrees retrograde in Gemini. So when we have this happening, again, because Mars is retrograde, this is just an impasse. This can just feel like you have to meet in the middle, or that, you know, there could be a communication that comes in about a want or a value, or, you know, that depending on what Venus rules in your chart, you know, it's not always love and relationships for everyone. You know, Capricorn, perfect example, Venus is a professional, reputational planet. So, you know, it's not as warm and fuzzy. So depending on what these planets rule in your chart, there could be like it's like a check, like cannot pass the gate until, you know, you've had this discussion. You know, you cannot proceed and pass go until you have reworked this routine of yours, or until you have changed your attitude or your mentality. And guys, this is I talk about it in my December monthlies about all of the big perception changes that are necessary, and where and how they're acting in all of our lives. So, you know, with this Venus Mercury check by Mars, it's almost like you may, it depends on how much momentum has been going since these planets all started to enter Sagittarius. Because if you've been boundlessly, like, bouncy Tigger energy is how I describe Sagittarius energy, and it goes and it gets into situations that has to be checked, it's got to be checked, but that's when Sagittarius develops the wisdom, because the more experiences you have, and then that's why you get Sagittarius energy, that if you have any of your big three or a personal planet in Sagittarius, you know that you get yourself, I have my Venus in Sagittarius, so you get yourself into things and you just like jump in, and then, you know, the mistakes happen and you're not as extroverted, you withdraw. That's why you only see Sagittarius is when they are extroverted, but they have a side to them that they just need to like sit alone and like process everything before getting really optimistic and ready for, you know, the next adventure. But, you know, it's in that processing that the wisdom develops, but you have to learn from your mistakes. It's the whole point. So I really feel like this Mercury Venus does get checked by Mars retrograding in Gemini, saying, you didn't get all the information, you missed a detail, you overcommitted, you overpromised, you outright lied. Okay, mutable energy just lies really easily. I'm talking Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces, Virgo. Okay, okay, go ahead. Hear it already. Okay. All right, I'm just a messenger here. So not to say that nobody lies, okay, but I'm just saying, like, talk to them, talk to any of these mutable people, sun, moon, risings, and it's just, it's kind of cute because it's sort of like childlike cute, you know. Anyway, okay, so, you know, if there's been any fibbing, if there's been anything, you know, intentional or unintentional, or, you know, anything, I feel like that on Tuesday is some kind of check. And yeah, all right, let's move on. Let's see, what is the next day going to bring us? Wednesday, November the 30th. Wednesday, November the 30th. We have, the waxing quarter moon is happening. The waxing quarter moon in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of the little fishies. And that moon in Pisces will square Venus in Sagittarius and Mars in Gemini. So that's going to be like a little T-square action happening. That's fun. This is a whole thing for December. So that Pisces area of life is like the spout, the fountainhead, the exit of pressured energy. Energy pressure builds, and that Pisces area of life is where it's all gonna like spew out and where it's gonna be really resolved. So the moon's gonna activate that. When you have a waxing quarter moon, it's increasing in light. That's the crisis in action, where there's a challenge, there's something that comes up, and you are meant to push through it. You are meant to overcome it. You are meant to troubleshoot and figure it out. Okay. Now with the moon being in Pisces, that with squaring the sun in Sagittarius, that quarter moon challenge could be overcoming a belief. You want to believe something, but everything is showing you you're wrong. You have to accept that. And that can work for the negative, that can work for the positive. Don't judge any of this. Just see how it's working in your life and go from there. You always have way more opportunity and way more tools and way more support than you feel or that you think or that you believe that you have in any given moment. So, for some of you, this is a challenge of belief that you don't have enough faith. For some of you, you overestimated maybe support that you have from someone, or this can be, what I mean by that is, I remember I had a friend who was going to college. I was working at the time, and she had a friend who wouldn't study. She just prayed. She just prayed to God that the test day would come and that God would give her the knowledge and that she would pass the test. Or it's like if someone's like, just take it, don't read about the tarot, just put it to your head and you're just going to download the information and you're going to know everything about the book or the tarot. It's like that. Here's the thing about Sagittarius is it's grandiose. Okay, I had a client who has a close loved one, and I saw this huge stellium in Sagittarius. I said, oh my God, how grandiose is this person? Tell me. And they go, oh my God, Natalie, you wouldn't believe it. They just believe everyone just should, roll the red carpet out for them. And, they just can't figure out why no one listens to everything they say, and that they think everything they think is the truth, and they believe these crazy things. Like, okay, so, depending on, your psychology and your mental health and where you are right now with it, that quarter moon could be checking you, like knocking down some of that grandiosity where you're not so righteous, or you can't be so righteous, you can't be so grandiose, you can't, maybe you have some, really great big, how I like to use my grandiosity is in my writing, is in my screenwriting. I can build the biggest world, I'm like one of those where J.K. Rowling could build this whole world of Harry Potter. That's pretty Sagittarius energy, right? So, do something like that. Be creative, put your grandiosity in the creativity, and try to be a little bit more grounded with reality, okay? Because, everyone's going to be rocked in the first half of December with whatever it is that we believe about whatever. So, that quarter moon challenge could be a little bit gnarly. It could be a bubble bursting. It could be, that someone just can't come through for you, or, you overestimated how much money you were earning. You were overestimating how much someone liked you, or, or maybe you were underestimating how much someone liked you. And you're like, oh, that's a nice surprise, but that's what we're talking about, basically. So on one end of the spectrum to the other, okay? So that's your Wednesday quarter moon in Pisces. Is there anything else I want to say? When the moon moves on, and because it's going to square the sun first, and then it will walk into that T-square with Venus and Mars, I just feel like that moon is a little bit more under siege, where, it's like mutable signs don't want to pick a side. They don't want to make a commitment. They don't want to. I was talking to a Pisces last week, and I said, boundaries are very, very important. Health boundaries are very important. And the first thing out of their mouth, they said, and boundaries are very different to every person. And I'm like, no, that's wrong. It's incorrect. It's not that boundaries are different for every person. That is the wrong thing to say. That is incorrect information. That doesn't, it's not, that's a, no. Okay, boundaries are the lines that demarcate my responsibility and your responsibility. Okay, it's not like that's different for every person. I say what my responsibilities are. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't say anything. I let the moment pass. But I was thinking like that's the most Pisces thing to say I've ever heard in my entire life. So, no, boundaries don't get moved around. That's why they're boundaries. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there might be like some pressure that is making you maybe you have to cut something out of your life, and Mars and Gemini. Maybe you have to make a value judgment with that Venus, and you have to really, make a decision of what's a priority, and you don't want to do it, and you don't believe that you're making the right decision, or you don't believe that you're prioritizing the right thing. It can be confusing. So I'm going to leave it there. But you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the situations and circumstances are changing in all these areas of life, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces. But here's the thing. If you're really having like a mental health challenge, and guys, listen, Mars is retrograding in my 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing, but also psychic ability, also spirit mediumship, also my PK, also all of that too. But it's still mental health. I've been feeling it. So, and oh my God, you guys, we got through the Mars Neptune square. I wasn't here for it on like the internet. I was decomposing. Sorry. I was sick, but you got through it, and that is what you're going to be chewing on and dealing with until January 12th. So, yay, mental health. If you are having some kind of like mental health, like that's Saturn too, where you just like crystallize, where you just can't get out of bed. You just like, I'll give you the secret. You want to use Virgo. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. So whenever you have a T square, you always fill in that missing leg, okay, which is Virgo. So you want to, where are we? Tuesday, Wednesday, you want to focus on what is in your power to take care of, okay? Put a boundary on your worry. Put it to the side. You'll come back to it. Don't evade. That's a mutable sign thing. Okay, lying and evading, just running away. Okay, my Venus and Sag, I just book a flight. I just go. It's not always the right thing to do, but it's my answer to everything. So can't do that though. But that, focus on the Virgo area of life and just like do small little things. Okay, do a little load of laundry. Don't look at the piles and piles and get like mentally overwhelmed. Just do some underwear, or just do a couple of little things here. And that's right, I have to order some laundry. I have a credit for it. But do little things that you can do a couple dishes, pay a couple bills ahead of time. Do like, me, a Capricorn stellium, I do responsible things when I do feel sort of insecure or out of control. I'll pay some bills ahead of time. I just do little things that just make me feel like I've got it under control. So, that's what I'm going to tell you for like if you hit the wall in the middle of the week, because listen, this quarter moon's building towards a full moon, which is always opposing the sun, but it'll be conjuncting Mars retrograde. We'll talk about it then. So, okay, let's move on. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long, so I'm like extra chatty, and I'm always chatty anyway. So I'm Cancer rising. Okay. All right, let's move on. So now we're in Thursday. Thursday. Okay. Thursday. We have Mercury in Sagittarius. Okay, hold on. Mercury in Sagittarius. Sorry, I know I'm blurry. Mercury in Sagittarius squares Neptune in Pisces. Venus in Sagittarius. Sextile Saturn in Aquarius. Moon in Pisces squares Mercury in Sagittarius. I'll figure that out later. All right, so let's start with Mercury squaring Neptune. Now we are in the month of December. Happy December. Oh, okay. So now we're in December 1st. So now we have the Mercury. Thank you for this, by the way, for sending me this. Look how wonderful it is. I love my notebook. You know, always send me notebooks and pens from my Amazon wish list. The link is down in the description box below. I love you forever and ever and always. Being a writer, I'm just obsessed. Okay. So on the 1st of December, we start the month with a Mercury-Neptune square. Pay your rent ahead of time if you can. You know, okay. I just see, whenever I see like a hard aspect on the 1st, I'm always thinking about like housing and people and like, you know, tenants and landlords and like homelessness. And I'm a Cancer rising, so it's like a really soft spot for me. I have a lot of like empathy and compassion for that. So, you know, do that if that's just a thing. But even if it's not a thing, it might be a thing. So just take care of it ahead of time so it's taken care of. This is definitely miscommunication. If there's anything that comes up between you and someone else, give it some time. Okay. Give it some time. Don't rush to conclusions. Ask for more information. Now, that won't work for everyone. Okay. Asking for trying to get more details and information might actually make it worse and might convolute the situation. So try to use your best judgment. Like, what are you feeling? Like, do you need space and just like, let's just table it and come back to it later? Or is this something where it's like a rush to a decision, a rush to a conclusion, and you're like, well, let's slow down and let's wait for more information to come in? You know, either way, that's just gonna, the squares to Mercury Neptune square is like, oh my God. So just at best, this is just a disagreement of perspective. You know, that's something that there's like a protocol. Think of, I don't know if you guys have ever done any board service, but there's something called Robert's Rules of Order. And it's basically organizing conversation among a lot of different people and, you know, finding a way. Robert's Rules is the way that you can have hundreds and hundreds of people, you know, in a ballroom or in a stadium, having a discussion and helping everyone get their voice heard and everyone feeling like they're heard. And, you know, but you get things done. I move to do this. I second that motion. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So if you try to like think that way, or if you just look online for like a list of like Robert's rules, you know, just, I'm going to say, try to be that, try to do that, try to think that way. That's probably still going to bump up against someone that's more like the Mercury and Sag. You might try to be like that, and then your person might be the Neptune Pisces person, and they might be, you don't care about me, you don't love me, you're so cold, how could you say that? You know, like they might, well, you might be like stepping on some toes, or you might be the one to be the Neptune and Pisces, and you might you might be the one to be like, don't you love me? You know, like you might be very, and so just keep that in mind. Like it just might be, it just might be a big mess. It might be messy. So I'm probably going to use that to watch like a tearjerker movie, you know, something that will like make me cry and make me really think about like, you know, life, or I don't know, I'm always kind of thinking about life. But anyway, you know, so and you can try stuff like that. You can try to pull the energy in a way that is like that you would prefer, but with our karma, it's like we get what we get, you know. All right, so that's the Mercury Neptune square. So don't expect clarity, don't expect And this is even like innocent. This is very innocent. So I went to Boston for a weekend recently, and it was what there was something like there was like a Neptunian energy. There was something like that. I think it was like there was like a moon transit or something. And I noticed that like on the plane we were like just like driving, we were just like for like 15 minutes. And then the pilot gets on and he goes, "This is so weird, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't seen this happen, and I don't even think ever. But we had to de-ice the plane, and they sent the guys to the wrong place, the wrong spot. So we're gonna have to turn around and go back to our original parking spot. So sit tight, and we'll get you in the air in a moment." Do you like my pilot Natalie? So, but it was like just like a natural, miscommunication, confusion where it's like they sent the de-icer over here, and then they sent the pilot and the plane over there, and everything was fine. There was a delay, so this could be just a day where there's extra traffic, or there's extra. They get your order wrong at the restaurant, and they give you something you don't like. So it could even be something a little bit smaller, there. So that's a lot about Mercury, Neptune. Let's see. Pisces, Venus and Sagittarius, sextiles. Okay, so the Venus, that's what I meant to say. So Venus, Saturn is going to help things a lot. So, whatever the miscommunication is, whatever the, "Oh, I thought you had time for me and you have to go to work. Oh no," like it's like whatever it happens to be, use the Venus, Saturn to say, "Okay, I'll make it up later. Okay, I'll take you to dinner tonight after work. Okay, we'll reschedule this, and I'll give you a discount for this, or can you give me a discount for this?" Or do a good faith effort to like restore trust and value. Okay, just be mature. Very simple. So it's nice to have that on the Mercury, Neptune square. See, Moon in Pisces. Oh my God, but then the Moon in Pisces in the square. It's so weird having these two different things to look at. I could just look here and have all the answer. So that Moon squaring Mercury, it adds to it. Like it all adds to it. So that middle of the week, like I said, you might be hitting that wall. And it's just, maybe yesterday you had to make a decision, a value judgment decision, and the next day you have to deliver some some difficult news, or have a difficult discussion, or you have to open your mind and you really don't want to. Everyone wants to think that we're open-minded, but that's subconscious bias. So let's all be humbled a little bit. Let's all humble ourselves and just always saying like, I could always learn and grow. I would never want to think that there's nothing I need to, that there's nothing I don't need to learn in screenwriting. No, I always want to learn. I always want to talk to people, and I love talking to screenwriters and hearing, just whatever they have to say, whatever their perspective happens to be, because that's going to be very unique. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but that's also, it can be Sagittarius, the higher of Sagittarius, where it's like, I'm always learning, I'm always growing, there's always something to practice, there's always something more that I can be missing, that I'm searching for. Like I love that about Sag energy. It's like searching for that horizon and just like voracious reading and that kind of thing. But that low Sagittarius is the exact opposite, where it's just righteousness, where it's like, I know everything and I don't need to learn anything else, and I know what I know. So careful there. All right, let's move on. Friday. Welcome to Friday. Okay, Friday the 2nd. The moon is in Aries, and I don't think there's a lot. Okay, so there's a trine to the sun. Moon in Aries. I don't like that it's going to come into conjunction with Chiron, but it's going to be trining the sun, so it's a little bit more buoyant, but there could still be some ouch there. There could be like, the only thing with this is it's almost like I have my Mars in Aries, and it's almost like sometimes it's great to do something before you're ready. sometimes you just need to do it before you're like ready, and then it catches up with you. That's another thing with specific, if you're pitching, if you're giving a speech, if you're, presenting an award and you're really nervous, your body language you have to control that body language. Maybe you have to not cross your arms and put your arms down to the side, and that will trigger you to be a little bit more calm and confident. So it works both ways. It's the subconscious pulsing energy out and revealing the state of your subconscious or your mentality, but then it's also in the reverse. You can tell your subconscious to be a little bit more confident. So this moon crossing Chiron, trining the sun in Sagittarius, I feel could be both ways, where you could be feeling a little bit insecure, and it could drive you to really put something together and really do something, and really, the situation and the circumstances are really aligning with your goals and your ambitions. And there is a little bit of like insecurity, but you're doing it before you're ready. You're just going for it. And likewise, you might feel really humbled with that moon crossing Chiron. You might feel really inspired to go do something. You might feel the spirit first and then take that action, or the action might already be happening and you have to answer to that, or or any one of those machinations. So all around it's going to be positive. Let that moon crossing Chiron, you're going to be emotionally connected to some insecurity, or to some maybe where you feel like you're either not ready, you're not good enough, or you're not the best, or you're not the first, or you're not original, or you're not, you might heal that in other people, support somebody else, do something for that insecurity in someone else, and take some pride in that you were able to do that. If you're too insecure to start uploading videos, go like and comment and support some creators that you really enjoy watching them, and feel good about yourself that you are supporting them. And that could actually help you feel more comfortable to put yourself out there more, or whatever happens, whatever that sign in Sag is. Okay, let's move on to December 3rd, Saturday. Happy Saturn Day, funny enough. So on Saturday, we do have Neptune stationing direct. So the rose-colored glasses go back on. Okay, so Saturday, the moon in Aries trines Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius. Neptune stations direct at 22 degrees of Pisces. Okay, so Neptune stationing direct tells us that we are now going to be seeing that Pisces area of life with either more hope and belief, faith, the spiritual sustenance, or the fear. The fear dial gets cranked up, where it's not so much internalized or kept private or going on behind the scenes. People are now projecting that very much outwards. People are now projecting that very much outwards. So use it for the former, not the latter. Use that Neptune in Pisces to be really happy and confident and spiritually connected to your higher self, because only when you get away from your higher self, when you get disconnected from life. Listen, we're all connected. We're all in this big grid. We're all connected to the earth. We're all connected to our higher selves and each other and karma and all of that. But when you lose that connection, you divorce yourself from it, maybe through, I don't know, drugs, alcohol, or shitty relationships, and illusory energy, and like hurting people, and manipulation. Like all of those things cut that connection that you feel. Especially when you damage your body, when you damage your pineal gland, when you damage the delicate mechanisms of consciousness with drugs and hallucinogenics or whatever. That's the scary part. That's when things get really scary, because you've actually physically damaged. The physical body is like the antenna, is the device. It is the the crystal itself. So, how are you going to channel if that device is broken? How are you going to upgrade the software on your phone if the phone is like 30 years old? It doesn't work. It will not run that new software. When people get new Mac products, it's not because they stop working. It's because they just want the new one, or the software may not longer work on that old device, but the device still works, but it's just like really old and outdated. So, just be very responsible. It's going to be more on you. Okay, because whatever's going on in that Pisces area, you have Jupiter there, you can get super paranoid, super fearful, and like neurotic. This can also be a messianic complex. You could be really inspired to like be a martyr and go way overboard in that direction. So again, with all of this in December, even at the first half of December, use that Virgo energy and just be very grounded, and let you controlling the things that are in your control make you feel better. I felt so much better when I went to the doctor. I mean, not really, because I hate going to the doctor because that's where the sick people are. But I love knowing that it was just strep throat. Guys, I was thinking about it. I have not been sick since December 2018. That was 4 years ago. I never get sick. I'm like, so it was just strep throat. Like, I feel so much better knowing that. So it was really that Mars Neptune square. Every time I swallowed, it was like sharp pain in my throat, not just my throat, my ears, both of my ears. And I kept seeing T squared. It was so weird. It was so painful. It was like sharp, jabby. Oh, it was like Mama Natalie was going through it. Okay, let's just say that. But I'm better now. Antibiotics, thank God. I love you, modern medicine. So grateful to be an American, to be here, to be alive. Okay, I'll stop. But Neptune, right. So Neptune stations direct. So like I said, just try to believe and cultivate the faith and keep your connection to your higher self. Establish your connection to your higher self. That is like the most important thing, is for you to have faith and belief and trust. Once you have the faith and belief and the trust, you let it go and you don't think about it. You're not worrying anymore. That Neptune direct could be like unspooling and respooling like worries and fears, and it can get like it could get like neurotic. It could get really anyway. So that's Neptune direct. There was something else happening. What else? We're on Saturday already. Oh, that's right. The moon in Aries trines Venus and Mercury in Sagittarius. So, and then it'll be void at the very end of the day. Don't worry about it. So, the moon making trines with Sagittarius, Venus, and Mercury is very nice. Very, very nice. There could be circumstances that you might feel are finally supporting your relationships, and maybe deal making or creativity, or maybe you are stuck on something and you just and anything. Maybe you're writing, maybe you're making art, maybe you're working, maybe you're a business owner and you're trying to figure out some interpersonal dynamics, and your manager doesn't like your supervisor, and you gotta like figure that out, or you're trying to figure out some legal litigious situations. Sagittarius realms too. The moon trining can say that people are getting along. People are, hopefully that Neptune direct is helping people, give people the benefit of the doubt, believing in the better of people, and having good conversations, and the situations, circumstances of the day on Saturday could be very encouraging and very supportive for your initiatives and your goals and your objectives, and the relationships, and the promises and deal making, and just conversations. I could support that it's very, very supportive. Okay, so the faith might return Saturday, or that could be like a bonfire and the match gets lit, and that moon in Aries is like me, and being a little bit of a little boss baby there. So be careful. All right, last but not least, on Do a little dance. Sunday. All right, on Sunday, Sun's Day, we've got, oh, I did some little things here. So we have the Sagittarius Venus squaring Neptune. Venus squares Neptune in Pisces. And then, oh, that's right, the moon is, yay, I love moon in Taurus. I love Taurus energy. Why are you guys so great? Why do you guys like me so much? With Taurus energy, I just, Taurus and Virgo, like earth sign brethren, and you guys let me know if you feel this, if you are, a water sign, air sign, or fire sign, sun sign. Let me know if this is the same with you guys. I'd be interested. Let me know in the comments below. But like earth and like my other earth sign brethren, Virgos and Taurus, like I just feel like they just like me for who I am, and I don't have to like be different or try or you know how you try to meet in the middle with people. I don't have to do that with earth signs. Like I'm where I'm at and they're where they are, and it's like in the same spot. It's so great. It's so great. There's no like reaching, it's just like, and I kind of feel like it might just be like a stodgy earth sign thing. Like we're just like all together. Anyway, so because not all signs like themselves. Okay, not all signs want a carbon copy, but I feel like earth signs really like each other like that. Okay, so enough about me. It's about you. Moon in Taurus is gonna, oh, I'm so excited for this. So Moon in Taurus is gonna conjunct the North Node. Yay. So on Sunday, there's going to be a very nice little emotional connection to the future. Whatever you're trying to develop, whatever you're building on, this is going to reconnect you. And with all the mutable things happening, the T-squares and what's coming up with the full moon, that is all still serving North Node agenda. That is all still serving Saturn and Aquarius agenda, which, as we know, the past couple of years, that Saturn-Uranus has been square. Okay, we're past the third and last square. So, those they had to reconcile. They had to figure this out. So when the moon crosses that North Node and Uranus, circumstances could be changing and showing and helping you along. We'll talk about it next week about the square to Saturn. We'll talk about it then. But as far as Sunday goes, I really like it. The sun is also, I don't have it here, but the sun is also trining Chiron in the fire signs. So very healing. And, you're really going to benefit with all this Sag energy. And then when we have Jupiter re-entering Aries at the end of December, being a mentor to someone, teaching someone something, and also being an acolyte, being a student in another area of life or another time, that's going to give you like the greatest balance. I feel really, once I started to really teach people my techniques and really teach people how to alchemize energy and teaching, I felt a shift happening in me where it was much more balanced, where I could be the student, the eternal student, and also share that knowledge. And Venus and Sag, any Sagittarius, we love to share knowledge, but when it's really honest, and this is a very big generational difference that I've noticed. What's behind Gen X and boomers, they like to gatekeep. Okay, we all have seen this, especially like on TikTok. We see that millennials and Gen Z, we love to share information. Okay, and it's an ego displacement, it's an ego difference. That gatekeeping ego wants to feel good about themselves because only they know how to do something and you don't know how to do it. And I feel good about that. That ages you, and that just tells the rest of us that you're outdated. Okay, it dates you. Okay, whereas we know that when we see millennials and Gen Zers sharing information, it's a different ego. It's, I feel good about myself because I'm sharing with you. I feel good about myself because I'm empowering you. That's another Capricorn thing, is that the good Capricorns share power, want to empower you. The bad Capricorns want to overpower you. They want to have you under their fucking thumb. Sorry, I'm just like, you guys don't have authority issues. So it's like, but it's like a difference. So you think about that with Sag energy. Is anyone trying to like tell you what to believe? Is anyone trying to deliver information so dramatically and so life or death, and so like sensationalized to get you to believe what they want you to believe, but then telling you, but you make up your mind? Or are they really honestly trying to share what they have to bring to the table and encouraging you to do your own independent research and draw your own conclusions? Okay, so that's something to watch for in Sag season as everything opposes Mars and Gemini and Pisces stuff. Okay, let's move on to your tarot. Okay, let's take a look at the tarot. Where is it? Oh, okay. What can we expect this week? I'm feeling this very modern deck. What can we expect this week? So, I mean, all in all, I like the week. The more flexible you are, the better it's going to go. We all want to think we're flexible, but we're not. We're not all. But hey, I'm technically still sick. I'm going to be on antibiotics for another few days, but I'm back. Okay. So, oh, that's another thing. Okay, so the change for the YouTube channel is that we will always be doing our Monday weekly horoscope and tarot scopes. Make sure you are subscribed, that you are liking the video, that you are toggling the notification bell so that you are always notified when I go live, when I do special treats, when I upload these videos. Okay, so we're doing Monday 3 a.m. weekly horoscope and tarot scope, and then we're doing Thursday 3 a.m. psychic tarot reading. Okay. Alrighty, so we're starting strong with this Ace of Wands. There's something new. There is something new starting this week for you. Here's the thing. I usually have, this past year is what I learned, is that I have like a fear of Neptune. I'm a Sun conjunct Neptune person, so it's like, don't sleep on Neptune, because Neptune is the one that'll have you wake up one morning and like look over to your partner and say like, I never left you. And you're like, what the fuck? Okay. Or you might wake up and look at your partner and go, oh, I did that right. Okay. So you might realize like, oh my God, I never loved this person. Or, oh my God, I'm in the wrong career. That's Neptune. It works on you like over a long period of time. So I would always, if I saw like a Neptune square or something, I would always kind of get fearful about it and just like, but then what started happening this year is that it turned out way better than I thought. And that was the square. That was the adjustment, is that it wasn't nearly as like grim or dark as I thought it was going to be. So that could be your adjustment this month too. We'll see. But my point is that don't judge it. Don't prejudge it. Eight of Wands, cute little motorcycle. Freedom. So you might be like, there might be this inceptional energy and then it goes. Okay, and you might be like off to the races. Try to keep it clear, schedule-ish. That's another thing with mutable energy, is that there might be, like I said, delays or hiccups or very genuine miscommunications. Like de-icing the plane and stuff like that. And like, we spent like 30 minutes just like going on all the way over there and then turning around. And then all the way back. So it might just be like wasting time type of thing. And that's like, the beginning of the week is when you're going to get the most done, and you might not feel like your time is your time because you're getting shit done. So use it though, because middle of the week it might hit a wall, the end of the week it might be what else is going on? What's this new sexy little idea? Or it could just be a project. It could be, oh my God, this looks, immediately when I got this, I heard like assignment. You might have an assignment. This could be a cosmic assignment. This could be an assignment from, a higher up or somebody. The Emperor. We're going to stop there. But like I said, this whole new setup, and I don't know what's going on with like battery life or whatever. Okay, Queen of Wands, bottom of the deck, the Four of oh my God, the Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. This is so solid. Like whatever this is a great idea. This honestly looks very entrepreneurial, very much money making, very much ready to work really hard and ground. I like these two together because it's like a groundedness, a grounding of an idea or, a business or a project. So, there could be some really good news coming. You might get a great assignment. You could be having to travel for something. You could, maybe even give someone else a great idea. Someone gives you a great idea. But these particular two aces, the new beginning, the impetus, this spark leads to financial stability, financial sense of well-being. So be prepared to work hard. Be prepared to have interactions with someone that knows what they want. They know exactly how they want something to go. And I think these two are going to work very well together, to be honest. So whether you're the Emperor, you're going to find the perfect person, hard worker, can take what you tell them and they'll do it. This is something so important. So like in screenwriting, it's like, don't litigate the notes. You're going to get notes, even on your genius masterpiece. Don't litigate the notes. Just implement them victoriously. Okay. So that's what I like the most about these two working together or loving each other, like whatever this happens to be, is that they don't litigate the notes. Okay. Your boss pulls you aside, gives you feedback. Don't litigate the notes. Okay. Your marriage partner says something that's they're uncomfortable with or tells you how they feel. Don't litigate the notes. What I say with interpersonal relationships is don't argue their feelings, but don't litigate the notes. And that's what I like about this, because it just moves faster. There's a clear boss here. There's a clear director, and even though the Queen of Wands is very spunky and sparky, I had a dream about a black cat. I just remembered that. Last night I dreamt that I was looking for my seat in this big hall, and it was like a Hogwarts type hall, but like sort of litigious looking, and it was sort of unfamiliar. It was maybe some kind of, I don't know, like somewhere where I would not normally be. Big hall, and none of them had my name on it. So I just picked a seat that was open at a table that no one was there, and my gloves were in this barbecue sauce, and I was like, oh my God. And I was trying to just pick it up, and then this woman in this witch hat comes up with this tray, and she asks me a question, and whatever the question was, I turn around to get the answer or to think of the answer, and I turn back to my table, and there's this little black kitten on the table, and it's laying on its back, so it's exposed. It's little, how they have these little round little tummies, these little kittens. It was a black kitten, but then it stretched, and you saw these little gray stripes. So it was like a black kitten, but with these little gray stripes on the underbelly. It was so cute. I've never seen that before. So I don't know, maybe you guys are getting, see, I'm a very pick-me girl when it comes to my next pet, and I don't like to use that word, but it's what we have. So, unless a bird just comes and lands on my shoulder and won't leave, or if a kitten follows me home and won't leave me, or if a like I said, if a little kitten or a cat chooses me, I'm going to be a pick-me girl about my pet. That's the only way that it's happening. It'll have to be fated and serendipitous. Okay, so this looks great. You have a great tarot spread, and you have everything that you guys need for the week ahead. You can, like I said, go to patreon.com/TheFirstArteagan and download the PDF of the December schedule and the new tiers. Hope you guys love and enjoy that. Consider it for Christmas for yourself and for others this year, and consider it to start the new year off right. I love you guys so much. Take very good care, and until Thursday at 3 a.m., many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful head stallings. Mwah.